This 20 Jackson game. We'll start with a statement from head coach McDermott.
Well, games like this, you hope to learn a lot about your team, and the film will tell us a lot, and I think will be helpful to us. And you also want to get exposed. You want to figure out, a great team like Purdue that's really well coached. What are they doing that's to expose your team and expose your weaknesses, and then how do we go about fixing that? So, I love the fact we got pretty much everybody on the floor, and putting your uniform on the first time in this building in front of a great crowd and playing a team against as good as Purdue is quite a challenge. And I thought our new guys really did some good things, and then of course really appreciate the fans coming out and support. I know we wrote a check to United Way of the Midlands for $150,000 for disaster relief, and that's what it's all about. Really appreciate Coach Painter's willingness to bring his team over here. This is a treat for our fans. It was absolutely great for our team.
Questions first for the student athletes.
Hey Pop, what got you into a good rhythm tonight?
Just having fun. I've been being told for the past month to smile and have fun. And I was just excited to go out there and just have my debut. I mean, it's been a long time coming. My body feels good. I'm healthy, so I was just ready to play, honestly. And my teammates just finding me, so.
Did you feel yourself hunting your shot early, or do you think it came in the
No, I didn't hunt any shots tonight. Everything just came within the flow of the offense and just happened naturally. It felt good to play like that. So.
What does that do for your game specifically?
I'm just gonna get easier shots. Coach came and sat in my living room for an hour when I entered the portal and told me that, he told me what I needed to get better on, and I needed to become an efficient basketball player, and he told me that he thinks his offense can help me become an efficient basketball player and get to where I want to go and just become a better player overall. Tonight it showed that, but it's still got a long way to go.
What is a game like tonight under the lights against an opponent that's expected to do some good things this year? What does that do to reinforce what you've been experimenting with in practice in terms of getting comfortable with a new system and trying to find shots in different ways?
It's huge, especially against a team like Purdue. You got good guards like that. And just for the team, it was a big thing, more than anything in myself. Shots, it's not going to look like that for me every night, and I know that and I understand that. So, it was just bigger for the team, just the fact that we got to go out there and be the top 15 opponent, get to play at home for the first time. You never know how it's going to look until you actually get out there, so it was fun.
Jackson, your first impressions of playing in front of the crowd here in Omaha?
I loved it. I've been dreaming of this moment since to play college basketball and then to play here at Creighton for a long time. So to be able to do that in this environment was awesome.
Anything else for the student athletes?
Yeah, Jackson. You're good on the boards tonight. How much have you put into that part of your game? I imagine the shooting is where you're most comfortable, but just being impactful on the glass, productive on the glass, and helping your team get in transition.
Yeah. It's something that's been a focus point. Ever since I got here, obviously knew I need to get better at that and been pushed every day to do that. And I think today I did a better job for sure. Obviously, there's still things to improve on there. But yeah, it's definitely been a focus point. I'm going to keep improving on that this season. So.
What are your impressions now, 2 games in, against 2 teams that are known for their physicality and tenacity defensively? What are your impressions of how that's going to be at this level?
I think it's good. I feel like every day in practice we all push each other and physical with each other to get better. And I think this physicality, obviously, it's a step up from the last level I played at. But I think I'm not afraid of it, and I'm ready for it.
To Pop and Jackson, Coach said it's good to get exposed a little bit and get stuff on tape. What do you guys see as the main point of growth before the season starts?
Defense, I think we'll be able to score the ball. I think we'll be fine scoring the ball, but eventually we're going to have to guard somebody. I know it's early, but 87 points, and especially when you get to conference play, is not going to cut it. So we're going to have to keep chopping away and getting better at that end every day in practice, as well as offense. But defensively, that's the biggest thing I think we need to improve on.
Yeah, going off that, I think said perfectly. Defensively, obviously our offense has been really good, and obviously can still get better there. But defensively, we need to shut down guys that get going. We need to rebound better. So we got rebounded tonight, but if we can do those things, I think we'll be in a good spot.
Anything else? Thanks, gentlemen.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, guys.
It's a treatment.
Brandon. All right, we'll continue on with questions for Coach McDermott.
What do you make of just kind of the way Steven and Pop got you into the game? It seemed like they led the charge out of the backcourt, they played well off each other. What did you see out of that?
You know, I've been, you know, anytime you bring in a couple transfers, you just wonder how the chemistry and how it's going to work, and you know, it's really gone unbelievably well, probably even better than I would have anticipated. But I think Pop learned early that Steven will turn down a three to get him a better one, and you know, I think once Pop came to grips with that, like, you know, this is a team that's going to share the basketball, and they won't miss me if I'm open, so I'm not going to miss them when they're open. And but you know, I think you saw in Pop, you know, what he's capable of. You know, he's crafty in the lane. You know, he had a great pass to Kalk on the flip up, and you know, I think when he shoots good shots, he's a really good shooter, and you know, that's what we felt when we recruited him. And you know, Jemiah didn't have the stats didn't jump off the page, but he had 4 assists and no turnovers. And he's chasing guys around, and you know, he'll settle into that role too. But you know, I'm really pleased with the way Steven and Pop are playing off each other.
Jason, IT, and Mason all played a good amount on the wings. Can you talk about the rotation there and just kind of maybe the things?
Yeah,
you
this has been as difficult of a rotation to figure out, and you know, I'm still not certain. And you know, I made the decision before the game I was going to go with Isaac first, off the bench at the 4 in the first half, and Jackson in the second half, and I was going to go with Ty in the first half, and I was going to go with Shane in the second half because they both have done some good things in practice. But this is the first time Mason's played the 3. It's you know, we tried Jason at the 3 a little bit. He played the 5 at the end with Fred's foul trouble. So you know, we can go a lot of directions, and it's you know, you hope it would sort itself out, but it hasn't quite yet. But I think that's a good thing. You know, not necessarily a bad thing, because they've, you know, Isaac and Mason and Jackson, you know, Mason's still getting back from the injury. He's not himself yet, and he'll get there. But they've all done some really good things. And so, you know, my messages to them after the game is, I don't know what the rotation is going to be on November 6th, but what I do know is if I call your number, be ready. You know, and you know, so we've got some. You know, I think tonight was really good for those guys to go out and play and have this film to watch against a great opponent.
You mentioned Fred King right there. How big was it for him to do what he did in the minutes that he played?
I told him he leads the country in fouls per minute as of right now. But yeah, he's got to get better playing without fouling. But he's really practiced well, and you saw some of the plays he made on both ends of the floor that we're going to need. And you know, his knees are healthy. He feels better. You know, last year he fought that in the entire year and never really got in a groove. So it was good to get him out there and have some good things happen.
They came out, punched you in the second half, got the lead. Seemed like they were getting comfortable. You guys got caught under 3, drew a foul, got the flip up. That stretch where you really made an effort to get him involved. Like, how big are those going to be this year? When
yeah, I mean, it's huge. You know, for us, and you know, we've got to get him a little bit more involved. He needs more than, you know, 7 shots, but you know, like Iowa State, he was 6 for 6 from the field. He's just incredibly efficient. But you know, we weren't going to run everything that we have either to try to get it inside. But you know, he's playing at a high level on both ends of the floor. You know, his sureness with the ball at the top of the floor is just at another level from a year ago. I thought he's getting off his blockouts and going to get rebounds better. You know, he used to just kind of block his guy out, let Baylor fly in and get it. Now he's got to go chase some of those himself. So he's an improved player, and he's, you know, really important. And you know, didn't play him a lot at Iowa State, 16, 17 minutes and 26 tonight. So you know, we saw what we needed from him and wanted to take a look at some other guys.
You mentioned getting exposed. Where do you feel like you got exposed most tonight?
You know, to Pop's point earlier, like defensively, you know, I don't think any team in the country is where you want to be defensively. And you know, we gave up 83 to Iowa State. We gave up 87 tonight. Now we scored 82 against a great defensive team in Iowa State, and Purdue's been pretty well known for their defense as well, and we scored 93 tonight. So the offense is there. We've got to clean some things up defensively. Keyshawn Gilbert had 35 on us at Iowa State. Smith gets 31 tonight, their best player. So we're gonna have to figure out who's that guy. You know, who's that guy that's gonna be able to, when a guy gets going, slow him down. So that's gonna be a work in progress, I think, and it could be by committee, possibly. But you know, it's October 27th or whatever it is, and you know, we still have a lot of work to do.
Coach, what were you expecting from Purdue in this game? How do you think you guys responded?
Yeah, you know, you knew they were going to be physical. We knew Lawyer and Smith. You know, we traded some practice film so we could at least prepare a scout. And last year they were all, you know, they were focused on getting it to Zach, and everybody else kind of played off that. This year their focus is, you know, Fletcher and Braden flying off stuff, and then they play off of that. So, you know, we probably didn't expect the full court pressure as much, and you know, we melted a few times more when we got tired. I thought when we were fresh we handled it well. But this is great for us. This is it was a high level game, and you know, we had 5 guys out there that, you know, may not be on the floor together the rest of the year, the last 3 or 4 minutes, and they found a way to bring it home. You know, Ty makes a great cut, Jason makes a great pass. You know, Shane Thomas, I thought, went in, you know, made a great high-low pass to Fred the first time he was in, and then, you know, the back cut there at the end. So it's good to see guys go out there, have a little success. You know, that just brings, I think, a little extra motivation to those guys when we come back to the practice floor Monday.
I'm curious about that stretch, because that was 5+ minutes against their starters. Like the guys that played in the national championship last year, with, like you just said, a unit that's not used to each other. What did you see that's portable out of that?
Well, I didn't care while the game ended. I just wanted to make sure that there was no injuries to some of those guys. So I had seen what I needed to see from Pop and Kalkbrenner and Steven, and I wanted to see how those guys would handle it. And you know, they handled it pretty well. You know, we made a few dumb mistakes and a couple running travels there, but we'll clean that stuff up. But you know, they didn't panic when Purdue got back in it. They got a couple, you know, big rebounds down in traffic when we needed it.
Was tonight an indication of decisions on redshirting or not?
No, you know, those haven't. You know, I think Larry's gonna redshirt. He's fighting a knee deal tonight, so that's why he wasn't in uniform. But other than that, I don't think we've made any decisions, and we have 2 more weeks or 10 more days to make that decision. I haven't thought about it a lot, and it's been hard because guys have shown that they're ready to contribute, and you know, trying to pick, you know, if we're gonna redshirt a guy, which guy is it, and then what if something happens, you know, and they're not ready. So you know, you only have Kalk and Steven here and Jemiah 1 more year. You know, you want to have kind of all hands on deck.
How close is Fedor from a health standpoint to getting back out?
Yeah, he had hurt that ankle a couple weeks ago, and then he really hurt it yesterday in practice. Came down with somebody's foot, but you know, his eligibility status is still up in the air anyway, so he wouldn't have played tonight even if he was healthy.
I know this doesn't really count in the win column, but how much of a confidence booster is it for you guys? And at first glance, what are you going to take away and tell your guys going forward for your first true game?
I'll treat it like I do any game, win or lose. We'll pull some things off the film that we did really well, and we'll share that with the team, and then we'll pull some stuff off the film that we need to clean up and we need to get better at, and especially the things that we pulled off the film last Monday when we came off the Iowa State and we watched that film. So if there's things that we didn't do a very good job of then, and there's still problems now, we really have to, you know, it better have their attention on film. So hopefully, you know, we'll learn from that. But there's a lot of good things too. Like I said, you know, the confidence from just going out there and, you know, seeing a shot go in, and you know, for those 5 guys that finished the game, to finish the game against, you know, 2 or 3 guys that played in the national championship game in the last 5 minutes, that gives you a lot of confidence moving forward.
I hate to put you on the spot over a sound.
Well, then don't.
I'm not off the topic, but Amir Abdur-Rahim passed away this week. Coach against him 3 times. I'm wondering if you have any thoughts or just memories of what it was like getting to know him and coaching.
Yeah, it's awful. You know, he brought his Kennesaw State team here 3 times. The first time, all those guys were freshmen, young blood, and you know, and I remember talking to him after that game about, you know, just keep doing what you're doing. You know, you've got a special group here, and they're going to do special things. Be before it's all over. And when I went through my incident 4 or 5 years ago, he was one of the first guys to call. And we've stayed in touch, and he was a wonderful, wonderful human being, besides being a heck of a coach. And, you know, it makes you take pause and realize you better appreciate every day. But that's a young life taken way too soon, and certainly our condolences are with his family and friends.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Matt.